Raise your hand if you are ready for silver's price to reach an all-time high. Well, stay tuned because it may happen soon. I'll explain why as we explore. This is not something that I take very lightly to make a statement such as that, but I posted a video a few days ago entitled, "If you're a silver stacker, then you have the advantage." And many people have been saying for a long time that silver is undervalued, especially compared to gold. I believe that. But there's something new that I think is brewing, I believe, and I hint at it in that video. But a friend of mine, Think For Yourself, had posted a video that he believes that silver could reach $50 an ounce by about 2030. And that is sooner than you think, folks. That's only 5 years away. And that's a pretty big move in silver's price between now and then. And he states a lot of things that I had talked about, but also some new things with regards to what's going on with gold right now. Gold has obviously been reaching new record highs. Now, I'm talking about in nominal dollars. You know, these dollars that are measured against themselves have proven to be a failure over the course of time. And that was Think For Yourself's point as well. The dollar is losing some credibility around the world, but it's also losing value. Inflation is sticking with us. It is here. It's going to take some work to get it back down again. But there's other things that are happening as well, too. Gold is getting very expensive and people are getting nervous. And now there's more attention being drawn to gold, and especially with the upcoming tour of Fort Knox and perhaps an audit of Fort Knox and maybe even the Federal Reserve. And so silver, I believe, really does have room to move up. And part of me was surprised that it didn't fall briefly, at least for the first part of the year. I thought for sure we might see it sustain some losses below $30 an ounce. That has not happened yet. But there are dips that come from time to time. And this is why I'm still buying silver. I have an order on the way from Summit Metals, a channel sponsor. But I'm not telling you to buy silver at this point in time because of my viewpoints. You should buy silver only based off of your understanding of the markets, because anything could happen in the silver market. We've seen that time and time again. We've been disappointed. So do your own research and understand that silver is a metal that will preserve your wealth, but it takes a long time and it takes a strategic buying initiative to make that happen. Notwithstanding, I believe there's a lot happening right now that is bullish for silver. We're going to still continue to see demand for it, and some of that demand will come from recession-proof areas of the economy, like healthcare, and even some green energy initiatives. Because like it or not, there's some of that stuff that is just ingrained in the economy right now in one way or another. And so I don't think that's going to let up a whole lot, even if we do see an economic downturn. Now, an economic downturn, maybe a recession, could be on its way, because there is news now after the stock market has seen a fairly big drop just a day ago as of the recording of this video, and others have noted that there has been a lot of selling happening in the market, big selling, and we're talking about $100,000 plus selling of stocks, especially from big players like Berkshire Hathaway, and also Jamie Dimon, who has sold off some of his stocks yet again. Is that a sign of what is to come? Perhaps so. And I think it was Jan Neuenhaus who posted on X that, you know, if Berkshire Hathaway, you know, if they would have taken some of that and put it towards gold, they might be in a better position, because gold has maintained its wealth and is a tier 1 asset, whereas the dollar is a declining store of wealth. This, folks, is bad money. This is good money. And even though the price fluctuates, and we know it will continue to do so, we very well could see a focus on silver. S. Rocco report is saying that about 0.5% of Americans actually, quote, invest in silver. And of course, I don't like to use that term invest with regards to silver. I like to think about it as a hedge against economic instability, an insurance policy, a savings account. It's not going to make you rich. It is not going to give you positive returns over the average lifespan time of you holding silver, unless you're lucky. And really, luck is part of what investment is, and to some degree, anyways. But nonetheless, there are ways to make money with silver. But I think most stackers of it, and such as the form that you see here in bars, and even many coins and rounds, it's about preserving what you already have in terms of your wealth, and that's what it's about. It's about mediocrity. I tell folks, I aim for mediocrity, and that's exactly what silver is over the long course of time. It's one of the most conservative ways to be able to do that, but it involves patience and perseverance and holding on to what you already have, holding on to your silver, stacking it up. Hence why we call it silver stacking. And when my friend Think For Yourself did his video about this, I thought it was intriguing, especially considering his past in terms of what his views were on silver. And even though he may have at once called himself a silver basher, I don't think he really hates silver. I think he hated a lot of the hype around it, and I certainly agree with him on that. But silver itself is an inanimate object. It doesn't evoke any emotion. It exists for what it has been for thousands of years. It's just that people sometimes try to take advantage of it for one reason or another. And I believe that, the silver, in a sense, sells itself for what it is. That's what attracts me to it. It's a beautiful metal, for sure. It is much more abundant than gold, but it is also a rare metal compared to other base metals out there, and it has a dual role, a dual purpose. And I think people will start to realize that and maybe start to appreciate it a little bit more and maybe add it to their portfolio. If 0.5% of the world, or Americans, I'm not sure where that stat lies in terms of geography, but if even 1% or 1.5% started stacking silver, well, we may be seeing that pie of about 25 to 27% of all silver being consumed or consumed one way or another. In other words, towards electronics, towards energy, towards artificial intelligence, photovoltaics. On that side, as opposed to stacking it, well, we may see that slice grow, adding to the demand, causing the price to go back up again. I think we're going to see $50 silver sooner than 2029 when it comes to premiums. Premiums are already starting to kind of creep up a little bit on silver, as I think some people are starting to realize that silver might be a good alternative to gold. And so therefore, I think that could push the market back up again. And of course, it's not down right now. I mean, good grief, we were just at $33, just a couple of days ago. So I think we could see silver's price continue to move north and narrow that ratio between gold. And I think it'll start really soon. And I believe that when that happens, as more people start buying silver, we're going to see premiums start to go up a little bit. And it won't be long before people are paying $50 an ounce for a silver round or a silver bar. So we'll see. Or a silver coin, especially the American Silver Eagle. I think it's going to be the first to reach that $50 mark in terms of the purchase price when accounting for premiums once demand starts to pick up again. So that is the way the dynamic is and the fundamentals are. We went through a dry spell where there was a glut of silver being with local coin shops around the country, and people were selling off their silver. I can't tell you how many times on this channel I've seen people say, well, I'm kind of tired of silver. It's been lackluster in performance. Of course, it does have great luster. Look at the luster of this bar, for instance. But nonetheless, in performance, it has been lackluster, and people were tired of it. They're ready to bow out when it hit $30 an ounce. I can't tell me how many times I've seen those comments come through, and likely many of them held true to their word and sold off most of their silver stacks. I'm of the mind that I think we should hold on to it and be patient with silver. It's a long game, if you want to even consider it a game. It's your money. It's your wealth. And I believe it's a way to save outside of the system. Some of the silver you see here was purchased, all of it was purchased at a much lower price than where it is right now. one could say that I'm profiting by having this silver, but I would make the argument that no, I'm not. When adjusted for inflation, I'm probably about breaking even with all the silver that you see here, and especially with these prey bars that were purchased quite a while ago, and when actually silver was about where the price is now, maybe a little bit less. Certainly with these, I'm probably underwater with these Scottsdale prey bars. But hey, you never know. I'm not really keeping track of every single ounce of what I purchased it for. But keep in mind that the actual price adjusted for inflation, we're not going to be there for quite a long time. What does that mean? That means that silver would have to be triple digits. I think of somewhere around $200 and some an ounce in order to be adjusted for the all-time high back in 1980, which was right near $50 an ounce in those days. But that was a very short period of time. The law of averages is at play here, and when you look through the span of a long period of time, silver has actually done well. But I think we could see $50 soon, and maybe even before 2029. So let's watch what happens with silver between now and then. I'm feeling pretty good about it, but that's just my opinion. And I like to think that my opinions and guesses are, even though they are just that, are somewhat educated with the markets and what I've been seeing. But again, I could be wrong on that, and we'll see how it plays out. So let me know what your thoughts are on where silver will be in the next couple of years. Do you think we'll see $50 silver by 2029? Or do you think that it's just going to stay right where it is by then? Let me know what your thoughts are. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to each and every one of you for taking the time to watch, and to encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.